you are willing to throw bleach on your child's skin because you so upset. Like, it's time for you to go. What's up, sweetie fam? Welcome back to my channel. I am Forever Patra Denise, produced by Zenny Production. This here is my sweet tea. Just because it's tea does not mean it's gossip. Hey, well, I want to welcome my sweetie fam back to my channel. That's right, this is my baby mama story, episode 3. And if you are not a part of this sweetie fam, you already know what you need to do. It's completely free. Go down to that red button, hit subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified because I be dropping videos. Y'all already know that. So if you have not watched episode 1, episode 2 of my baby mama story, you are definitely going to be confused. So just go right down to my description, click episode 1, followed by episode 2. And then don't forget to come back because you're not gonna know where we are in my baby mama story. All right, so shout out to everybody that has supported me in this story because it's very vulnerable. I'm putting myself out there, but most importantly, I am going to teach someone. Please don't go through this. Please learn from me. Since we're already here, episode 3, let's get right into it. As I left off on episode 2, I started talking to the drug dealer. Me and the drug dealer actually got close. He had, at that time, a baby mama, but it was his girlfriend. It was kind of, I guess, long term. He had 2 kids by her. And then, I had my baby daddy, which I can't tell you if we was in a relationship. I can't tell you what it was, but I definitely, I guess overall, I still wanted to have my family, which when I look back at it, it's really stupid because I guess I wanted it to look like a family, but then I was really, really hurt. So I started messing with the drug dealer, and I really get like in a real deal, I don't care mode. So, me and my baby daddy was really on again, off again. And it was like, we off for 8 days, we on again for, 6. And then we off again for 10 days, then we on again for 4. Like, that's how on and off again. So, it allowed me, honestly, to spend time with this drug dealer, okay? We're going into the first quarter of 2000. We're in the first quarter of 2007. So, my son's birthday is coming up, and I'm grinding, y'all, because I want my son to have the best first birthday ever. This is my first child. So, all I can think about is, let's get it, let's go. Like, the grind mode starts. My son's birthday is March 30th. So I literally started grinding from January 1st to March 27th. I worked every day, 12 hours a day, weekends, just every day. Because as many hours I can get in a day, it didn't matter how tired I was, it didn't matter anything. Because I wanted my son to have, I just wanted to be able to blow money. Whatever I thought he wanted, I wanted to have. So as always, my baby daddy was not contributing. Besides, he was taking care of TJ while I worked. But that was like a stretch. So there will be, as I said, I was working like at least 12 hours a day. There'll be times like I'll be so exhausted. And TJ are having, just be honest, we have on the same little nasty onesie for like 3 days. He wouldn't give him a bath. One thing he would do is make sure he slept, make sure he ate, and make sure he didn't get hurt. And I guess I should be grateful, but you're not just babysitting, like this is your kid. So like you're not doing nothing. Not giving the baby a bath, or not, okay, say you're not comfortable giving the baby a bath, you wash the baby off. The baby had closets and boxes and totes full of clothes. You could have done something, but it is what it is. Like there was a time I was getting off work and I was preparing for like his birthday or whatever, and like so I was going to the store, getting what I looking and things like that, and he called me like, man, I got somewhere to go, you need to come home, like you off of work. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing stuff for like the baby's birthday, like. So, like, I had to stop what I was doing, go home, get my baby, because he was ready to hit the streets. Exactly. Babies, how you babysitting your own child. So I told him, I said, listen, my son's birthday cake is $60. Or I said, our son's birthday cake is $60. I need you to pay for the cake. That's the least you can do. I'm paying for outfits, the entire party, everything, gifts, everything. Least you can do. Okay, I'm gonna get out here and do it. So I guess he called himself being a drug dealer, I guess. And so every day leading up to my son's birthday party, he is out all night, quote unquote, you know, selling rocks and, you know, flipping this rocks or whatever. And I'm just like, are you serious? Now, I just want to pause. I do want to pause. So I want to go back a little bit. I forgot to say this part. So after we went to go see my grandfather, came back, I filed my taxes. So this is February. So after that, I filed my taxes. I got like $5,000 or $6,000 back. And I had never had that much money ever in my life, like in my hand. So he knew I got my taxes back, and he like, man, please, please, please buy this car for me. It was like, it was like $1,100, and in my gut, I knew I shouldn't have bought it. Told y'all, God was really mature in my discernment. I knew it, but I did, for whatever reason, I felt like this was gonna keep my, you know, he could help, you know, take me to work and pick me up. You know, he can, you know, because at this time I'm taking a cab every day because it's winter time, so I take a cab every day to work. And then I'm normally like walking home because the buses are not the buses, but I'm walking home. It doesn't matter how cold it is, I'm still walking home. I'm like, okay, this will save me money for a cab. This, you know, woo woo. But I knew in my gut I shouldn't have done this. Okay, I knew in my gut I shouldn't have done this. So he's like, oh, my cousin got this car. You know, it ain't the newest car, but it's a decent enough car so I can take you to work, you know, take the baby out, yada, yada, yada. So, you know, like 2-3 days passed. He ain't saying nothing about the car. And then like that Saturday, I'm going out and buying stuff. It was my day off. It was a day off, but I was still going to work. So I was going to work like a 4 to 7 shift. A few hours that day. And he was like, you gonna get the car for me? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the car. So I gave him $1,100 to get the car. It may have been $1,200 to get the car. And he comes up with this car. And so I'm assuming that if I gave you this money, the car is in good condition, right? It wasn't a week and a half later, the car broke down. You hear me? He didn't have no money for no tags or no insurance or anything. So he was stealing people's license plates off their cars, driving around. And he actually only picked me up one time in the car out of the 2 weeks the dang on car was running. And so I was really mad at myself that I let him get that money. Like, I gave him that money. Like, I was really mad at myself, especially once the car just stopped working. Just was sitting outside, it just stopped working. And so I was just like, I knew I shouldn't have gave him that money, but I did it. Thank God I had other money, and I had, you know, I had money, but I knew I shouldn't have gave him that money. And his cousin, whoever is this, you know, cousin, everybody's cuz, you know, took his money. But he didn't want to bring that up. So fast forward back to my son's birthday. So I told him, you know, a week before my son's birthday, like, his cake is $60. I don't even know why I was buying a $6 cake, but whatever. His cake is $60, and I need you to come with the money. The thing is, I had the $60, but I'm like, you got to contribute somehow. All the nights leading up to my son's birthday, he's supposed to be slanging rocks on the corner. And the day of his birthday, like, he just doesn't show up. Don't even show up. Don't show up. He don't show up until literally like 5, maybe an hour before it's time to go. And I'm like, where have you been? I'm like, okay, well, do you got the money? Because do you have the money for the cake? Now, the store where I got the cake from was like a block and a half away. So we drove up there to get the cake and then continued to drive it on to the birthday party. We'd be fine. He gives me $25. It's all I can make. And I was like, dude, you been slanging rocks for 6 days. All you got is $25? I was like, and it was my son's birthday. I just wanted to be perfect. I was on edge. Like, I flipped the script. I go off of him.
Like, you a deadbeat. You yada, 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 yada. I was like, yeah, why you think you somebody big and bad? I'm effing a drug dealer anyway, so it don't matter. Like, you woo-woo, that's why you ain't never getting none of it. I'm talking like, yeah, I'm going crazy, right? I'm going crazy. So then he was like, I'm leaving. I was like, psh, be gone. So, but then I realized you ain't gonna leave with the stuff that I done bought, shoes and clothes. I went and got the bleach and I bleached all that stuff.
All of it. I bleached all of it. I said, you ain't going nowhere. You can't even come to my baby party unless you gonna go two-tone. And I left. Left him in the house. Sure did. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Sure did. I sure did. So he didn't come. His friends came. Was like, oh, I heard, y'all, what's going on? Woo, woo. I was like, he's dead to me. I said something ignorant like that. And that's when the war started. That's when it really, really got bad. Like, it really, really got bad because I was so hurt. Like, you couldn't be there for your son. And in my heart, in my mind, I knew he was with his other baby mama. I knew he was with her. I knew. And I'm just like, for 5 minutes, 2-3 days, right? So like a day later, it wasn't a day later. It was a few days later. He I take from I told you I was off on like March 27th I literally took a 2-week vacation. I had PTO, enough PTO. I had worked so much. I had enough money saved up. So I took a 2-week vacation. So, love-hate relationship. Day later, we get back together. We want some new phones or something like that. So he gets the phones in his name or whatever. And so he puts me on the bill because obviously I'm paying the bill because he doesn't have any money. He puts me on as an authorized user. So, I called myself getting smart. What I did was somehow I figured out how to get his voicemails to not only go to his phone before to my phone. And I would get a notification. I would get like a text message saying, oh, this number has a new voice message, right? Don't forget that part. But I played it cool. And so after that, we get into it again. So I'm still on vacation. I go to my job. I have lunch with my coworkers on their lunch break. Me and TJ or whatever. And he's upset because now I done called the phone company and changed the passcode. Even though it's his line, I changed the passcode so he can't call and cut me off the line. Okay, so even if you call and say I'm this person, this is my birth, this is my social security number, if you don't have that 4-digit passcode, it don't matter. But he caught me coming, like literally walking up to the front door of my house, and he jumps out his little the car didn't work, but he jumps out the car. And he was like, you took my phone, and you took me off I can't even get to my phone and disconnect the phone. So we're literally like tussling in the middle of the street. TJ sitting in the stroller asleep. And I'm like yelling for help, like we tussling. Nobody's coming outside to help. And I was just like, I felt so helpless. And this is all over cell phone. He wasn't paying the bill anyway. And I needed the phone on so I can make sure I kept, in contact with whoever I needed to keep in contact with. And we tussling. So I finally just give him the phone. But before in the midst of me giving him the phone, I find a broken chair leg. So a chair leg that was broken off off a chair, and I take it and I bust all the windows, the mirrors, the rearview mirrors, and the lights out the car. And so then I just started strolling my baby, walking down. I literally walked for about 25 minutes, and I saw a police car. And I said, listen, there's a car parked in front of my house. I said, I've seen them steal people plates and put it on their car 2 or 3 different times. This is the make, this is the model. They came and towed that car away. So when he came back, what happened to my car? I was so vengeful. Because you chose that heifer over me for what? Right? Then I find out, I guess him and the baby mama's into it and me and him on good terms. He like, man, she won't even let me see my baby. And so here I go trying to be. So I had HADO syndrome. Help a dude out. Like, I'm always trying to help somebody silly too. I want Casey my baby, yada yada yada. I don't even know why she should just let me get the baby anyway, because her other 3 kids she don't even got. And I was like, other 3 kids? He was like, yeah, she got a set of twin daughters and then and then a son. And I was like, so this is baby number 4 for her? My mind is just discombobulated at this point. And I was just like, boy, bad. You know, I said, either she young and trifling, or she a cougar and you trifling. Like, I couldn't understand that. So we're back. We're into it one day. We're out of it one day. We're into it one day. We're out of it one day. We're into it one day. We're out of it other day. And so this is like literally just days. I'm still in just like the beginning to middle of April. We're into it, we out of it. We're into it, we out of it. So my grandfather passes away in April, and so that definitely hit me hard. Every day was something different. So we into it one night. I can't remember why we're into it, but he pissed. You know, because I won't let him be great and walk all over me. And at this point I'm a lot stronger than I know I am. I'm stronger physically, but mentally I'm not. Or it doesn't just, the two don't go together. They should, but they don't. So he we fussing and fighting and arguing, and he wakes TJ up or whatever. So I grab TJ and I'm just like, listen, I'm not gonna be doing all this. You could just leave. So now he wants to hurt me like I hurt him. So he wants to throw bleach on my clothes. If you know me, my clothes are everything to me. So he throwing bleach, and as he throws, I told you my baby in my hands. He's throwing bleach. He throwing bleach right on my clothes, and I'm actually in my work clothes, right on my clothes, in my work clothes with my baby in my arms. And I was just like, you are willing to throw bleach on your child's skin because you so upset. Like, it's time for you to go. Like, definitely time for you to go. And what I had to do, because those work clothes I couldn't get more of, I literally I went to the store and bought Sharpies and just fill in the bleach, like for real. It actually came out good. It didn't erase or anything like that. Every time I washed it was fine. It's crazy, just crazy. At that point, I tell my mom, I said, listen, I want out of this. I can't do this more. My mom is still in Chicago. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in forever. And I'm just tired looking over my shoulder. I'm just tired. And she was like, well, I'm going to go back to Tennessee. What I can do is I can take the baby with me. And I was like, you don't have to do that. She was like, I haven't really got a lot of time to spend with my grandbaby, so I'll take him to Tennessee with me. So my mom takes my son before Memorial Day. She take him. She said, listen, you get yourself together. You know. And I'm like, well, you sure? Maybe TJ shouldn't go. And she was like, he ain't gonna know if you, he knows if you're around, but, you need this time to do what you need to do. So at this point, I'm still talking to the drug dealer on and off, but I'm not really putting him in it, because that ain't the type of relationship we have. So when I'm with the drug dealer, it's peachy keen. We're good, right? So I let my son go with my mom from May to literally late May 2007 to pretty much August 1st. That's when she came back to Michigan. And that summer, I lived my entire best life. Do you hear me? My entire best life. I partied like I never partied before, because at this point, we not together. Not at all. I'm going out every weekend. We hit Chicago, Grand Rapids. If it was a session, I was there. Right? Kicking it, living it up. When his phone rang, before we got into tussle. In the middle of the street, when his phone rang, if there's a voice message left, I would get it. He would get a notification. I would get a notification on my phone. So he goes skating on a Sunday. And I didn't know any place that went skating. Again, I'm in Kalamazoo, but I'm from Benton Harbor. And so he goes, him and his homeboys go skating. And I was like, well, what skating ring do people go to around here? I'm thinking they may have went to Grand Rapids, which is like 35 minutes away from Kalamazoo. We go skating one Sunday, and so then after that, his phone blowing up. And so they don't leave voicemail stuff. Eventually, they leave a voicemail. And so the voice message is from one of my best friend's cousin, right? And she's like, "What's up, T?" That's what people call him. Just seeing what checking in with you. I know I missed your call earlier. Checking in with you, like, seeing if, make sure you still coming this way, so you can buy them Jordans, so we can get the Jordans. Like, I know you said you're gonna buy them, so then we can dress alike. Just want to spend some time with you. Call me back, boo. Something to that nature. And when I heard the voice, I know exactly who it was, and I was like, that's family. I was like, but I don't think she even knows that I even had a baby. So to be mad at her would be stupid, and I wasn't. So I called her. I called my best friend, like, what's, such number? And he was like, why? I was like, because I think my baby daddy's trying to talk to her in low key. I heard the voice message. I'm sure it's her voice. He was like, her voice is distinctive. So I call her, like, this page. And she was like, what's up, fam? Hey, girl, how you doing? Yada, yada, yada. And so I asked her was she talked to a dude named T, and she was like, yeah, you from Kalamazoo, they came skating up here, and so we kind of just hit up. And she was like, but how you know that? I was like, well, we're on the same line because that's my baby daddy. She was like, are you freaking serious? She was like, I would never. I said, this is no dis. She's like, I was like, I'm not calling you to disrespect you or anything. I was like, you had no idea that I even had a baby. And that's when she congratulates me on the baby. She was like, oh my God, I had no idea. Woo. I was like, me neither. I didn't know that's what, he was on when he came in. She was like, She's like, I'm deleting this information right now. You would never hear me. And I was like, fam, it's no love lost, for real. Because he knew he had it. You didn't know that. You didn't know that me and him had a kid, that we supposed to be together. So, we actually ended up talking, for a minute, just, about, off topic stuff. But I'm like, you really was about to talk to pretty much like my fam, like. And I was just like, if you didn't want to be with me, just say that. Like, just be like, listen, let's not be in a relationship. I'll take care of my son. Let's work on a co-parenting relationship. Okay? Let's just do that. So, last and totally not least for episode 3. I started getting people playing on my phone. And I'm like, who would play on my phone? I finally realized it was his other baby mama. Or the new baby's mama. And I was just like, girl, like, why are you playing on my phone? I was like, I got pregnant by him first. He was, my, boyfriend, like, why are you mad at me? Like, what you upset? She was like, if I'd have known about you, we wouldn't have never had nothing. I was like, I agree. I mean, that's understandable. I was like, but what you mad about me? She was like, you see me all the time and don't say nothing. I said, ooh. I said, I don't even know what you look like. And I barely knew your name. And so she was like, you don't know me? I said, no. He's made sure that I don't know what you look like. Now, what I don't like is that you know what I look like. She was like, yes, I've seen y'all go on family outings on the bus while I'm out with his daughter on the bus as well. Yes, y'all, I caught the bus. And I was just like, are you serious? She was like, yes, I've seen y'all several times. And he acts like he doesn't even know me. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like, I was like, well, that should tell you right there. Stop messing with him. Period. If he's not gonna claim me in public, but you're only good enough for lights out. And so she was like, it's not fair to my daughter. Yada 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 yada. So at that point, I felt uncomfortable, you know, like catching the bus and things like that, because you know what I look like. I have no idea what you or your daughter looks like. So that means you know what I look like, you know what my son look like, all that. Y'all, this is episode 3. And I got one more good, juicy episode of my baby mama's story. And every story gets better and better. Every episode gets better and better. Y'all, if you are not a part of the Sweetie Fam, you already know what you can do to join the Sweetie Fam, because you do not want to miss episode 4, the final episode, the finale of my baby mama story. Y'all, I'm Forever Patra Denise. Y'all be sweet.